If you've tried to use AI to help write your Excel formulas, you'll often get a crazy looking formula like this that uses the let function. This formula obviously looks more complex and overwhelming and is oftentimes unnecessary. So in this video, I'm going to explain what the let function is, why AI recommends it, when you should use it, and when to avoid it. So let's go. All right, so in this example, I have this table of sales orders over here, and I need to look up the product ID in this products list table over here and return the weight. However, if the weight is greater than 40, then I need to return the word bulk. So I asked AI for help in writing this formula. Here is my prompt, and all four of the major large language models gave me the same basic answer, which is a formula that uses the let function. Now, AI does this for efficiency purposes, but if you haven't seen the let function before, this can be pretty confusing and a bit overwhelming. And I actually don't recommend using the let function in all scenarios, which I'll explain more about later in the video. But let's first take a look at how to write this formula. And I'm going to start from the inside out and just make this very simple. So the first thing we need for this is an XLOOKUP. We're going to use an XLOOKUP formula to look up the product ID over here. And we're going to look it up in this column, in this table, hit F4 there, comma, and then return the weight. F4 again, close parentheses and hit enter. And that's just going to give us our weight. Now we also need to return the word bulk if the weight is over 40. So for this, we're going to edit the formula again. And here at the beginning, I'm going to say if, we'll tab into that. And for our logical test, we're going to say if the value that's returned by the XLOOKUP, if that is greater than 40, then we're going to return the word bulk. If not, we're going to return the weight. And the weight, again, is returned from the XLOOKUP. So I'm going to copy the XLOOKUP here and paste it right here for my value if false argument. We'll close parentheses at the end of if and hit enter. And now you can see we get bulk where the weight was greater than 40. Now this isn't the most efficient formula. And the reason is because it has to do XLOOKUP twice. In scenarios where XLOOKUP, or where the weight, I should say, is greater than 40, then it's going to return bulk. But if not, it's going to have to do the XLOOKUP calculation again a second time. And if you have a really large file where it's doing thousands of these calculations, that can slow down the performance of your file. So we can use the let function to improve efficiency. The let function allows us to use variables to store these intermediate calculations. Because in this case, we only want to calculate the XLOOKUP one time. So to see how this works, we'll type equals let and tab into that. Now the first argument in let is the name. This is essentially a variable where we can create the variable name first. So I'm going to call it WT for weight and type a comma. And then the second argument is the value for that name or for that variable. So in this case, we want our weight variable to store the result of the XLOOKUP. So I'm going to delete the if right here. And then we just have our XLOOKUP right here. I'm going to type a comma at the end of this. So our second argument is the value there. And then for that name. So essentially we're going to store the result of the XLOOKUP in this weight variable, comma. The third argument is going to be our calculation. So here we're going to use our if function. We're going to tab into that and we're going to say if our weight is greater than 40, then we're going to return bulk. If not, instead of the XLOOKUP here, we're just going to return weight. Again, weight is holding the value of our XLOOKUP that's returned from our XLOOKUP, so we can reuse it here in our calculation. And then out at the end of this, we're going to close parentheses for let, we'll hit enter, and we get the exact same result. So now our formula is only doing the XLOOKUP one time. It does it one time, again, stores that value in weight, and then we can create another calculation here that reuses the weight variable. And if you have multiple variables, you can also use those here in the calculation to just make your calculations more efficient. And before we get to the alternate solutions, I did want to show one additional thing that you'll often see when you get a let function from AI. So right up here, oftentimes you'll see it on multiple lines. I'm going to hold the Alt key and hit enter right here to put this on a new line. So we have our variable and then the value. And then after the comma, you might see the calculation down here on another line, and then even the final closing parenthesis for let on a fourth line. And so even with those line breaks, this formula will still run exactly the same. We can hit enter to see that. Now, if you have the formula bar collapsed, you might look at the formula up here in the formula bar and you only see this, but the rest of it's hiding. You can also just go right here and drag down to see the rest of the formula. And this is a great technique to know to help make longer formulas easier to read. And I should also mention that I'm using Excel tables here, but I have table formulas turned off for viewers that aren't familiar with structured references yet. So now that you know what the let function is, that doesn't mean you should always use it. I think it's absolutely critical to know who the users of your file are and their Excel skill level. If you're sharing your file with users that aren't familiar with let, then they're likely going to be confused. And any efficiencies you gain from it might be offset by frustrated users that are messaging you to ask how your file works. So with that said, let's take a look at some alternative solutions. So one way to avoid the let function with AI is to just include that in our prompt. So at the top here, I have my original prompt, and then down below, I've added a few lines here to say, please do not use the let or lambda function, since I'll be sharing my file with novice users. For formulas that use complex calculations with multiple nested functions, I recommend helper columns instead. I say what version of Excel I'm on, and just provide clear instructions. So we'll go ahead and kick that off. And so Claude gives me the original formula that I had with two XLOOKUP functions here. And down below it says a note on these repeated XLOOKUPs. Since we're avoiding let or lambda, the lookup's going to run twice, and that's okay in most scenarios, but if it's a very large data set and performance feels slow, then you can add a helper column. So we'll jump over to Excel and take a look at some alternate solutions. But before we do that, I want to mention that I have this cheat sheet with pro tips for writing formulas with AI, and I'll make this available for free download along with the Excel file I'm using today, and there'll be a link in the description where you can grab that. AI is quickly becoming an important part of our everyday workflows with Excel. If you're feeling a bit behind or overwhelmed by it all, then I highly encourage you to check out our AI Literacy for Excel course. In the course, you'll learn how to use different AI tools for everything from simple data analysis to more complex process automation. The course covers all popular AI tools, including Copilot, ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini. We've already received a ton of great feedback on the course, and our members are saving a lot of time with their everyday Excel tasks. When you complete the course, you'll also receive a certificate of completion that you can post to your LinkedIn profile. Right now, we're running a special promotion for our YouTube subscribers. I'll put the coupon code for you down in the description, along with the link where you can join us. And if we wanted to avoid let altogether, we can do that by just breaking this formula up into multiple columns. So I'm first going to just copy my XLOOKUP, and I'm going to put it in this column right here. So equals, paste that in, hit enter, and that's just going to return the weight. And then to do the bulk calculation, I'm just going to do that in an additional column. So we'll say if, again, for our weight, if that's greater than 40, then we're going to return bulk. If not, we're going to return the weight. Hit enter there, and that's going to give us the final result. And I'll just rename this one bulk for now. And so now, instead of having XLOOKUP twice in our original formula, we just do the XLOOKUP first once, return the value, and then we can do the logical test or the if function on that returned value. And this technique is typically referred to as helper columns because we can split the calculation up into multiple columns to help make the formula easier to understand. This is actually similar to the let function, but we're using a cell to store the value instead of the variable. And as I said earlier, depending on who the users of your file are, this might be much easier for them to follow than either the original XLOOKUP formula we had or this let formula. And one additional tip is to hide the helper column. So you can do that by selecting the column, then going to the Data tab, and over here in the Outline section, choose Group. Keyboard shortcut is Shift-Alt-Right arrow, and that will add a group here to the column. And you can just click this button to collapse the group and hide that column, and then quickly click the button again when you want to see the column. Now I want to be clear that I'm a big fan of the let function, but again, it's going to depend on the scenario and who is using your file. I highly encourage you to consider this before using let all the time. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and consider subscribing. If you want to see other ways to upgrade your Excel formulas, then check out this video next. Thanks again for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.